Hey, what's up everybody? This is Muth24, and today I'm going to take a look at the 1 to 100 scale Master Grade God Gundam. Taking a look at the front of the box here, you have some nice artwork of the God Gundam and Domon Kasshu down there. You have some shots on the side of the front and the back of the Gundam, the action frame, which was a very early form of the inner frame that's used on most of the kits nowadays, some looks at the core lander, the beam sword, the machine cannons, and then the figure of Domon Kasshu over there, which you don't get in really any kits nowadays, but some of these older kits from the early 2000s would still include those, and then some poses of him in all sorts of different action dynamic stances there. You also get something that's not generally included with kits nowadays, is the little cardboard insert, and I love the way that the G Gundam ones look, especially when compared to any other ones, because you got this red and black layout for it instead of just the white and gray, so that's pretty cool. As far as the instruction manual is concerned, it's still the older style, but it does look a little bit nicer than some of the old ones. Instead of it just being the Gundam's head in this gray outline, you got the flames there, and then you've got the God Gundam's outline there, or the Burning Gundam for those of you who maybe aren't as familiar with its Japanese name. Flipping it open, you have a list of all the runners there. And there's really not that many runners to this kit. It's an older kit, so it doesn't have as many pieces to it. There's the shoulders and the arms, which are what you're going to start with. Let me keep going. And there's a lot of little parts in here where they talk about the Gundam itself and the different parts of the mobile suit and different things from the series, like the International Treaty here, where they talk about like all the rules for the Gundam fights, and you've got just like a bunch of different Gundams there. Some of the more ridiculous ones from the show, like the Mermaid Gundam and the oh shoot, I forget what it's called, the one that turns into a windmill. But anyways, keep going, and then you got the Gundam fight set, ready go, advanced Shining. I assume that's just supposed to be like the upgrade to the Shining Gundam is what they're talking about there. But anyway, some cool shots there with some After Effects added in. Again, more posing, more shots of the different parts of the Gundam there, and then the paint apps if you were going to paint the kit. Keep going, build the legs. Again, more about the mobile suit there. Finish up with the legs, finish up with the core lander, put everything together. Shows how you can get this guy to stand on one leg, and he will stay like that. Entering hyper mode, and then where to put all the stickers and decals. And there are not a ton of those with this. And there's a back shot of the Gundam as well. I did use more than I thought I was going to, but there's not a ton on this kit, and I'll get more into that in a minute. Now, I did build this kit straight out of the box, so what you see here is exactly as it's going to come packaged, except for the fact that I panel lined it. So what you get is a white color, a red, this blue, which is sort of a normal blue. It's a little bit darker than some colors, like on the Master Grade Gundam 2.0, but pretty basic blue. You get the yellow for the chest and the vents and the claw pieces here on the side of the gauntlets, and then the double V-fin. And then you get the gray for the inner frame, or the action frame rather. And that's pretty much it for this kit. It's just those like 5 basic colors for the actual mobile suit itself. You do get some stickers with this kit, and there's some where you might opt to go ahead and paint this if you get the kit for yourself, just because it is an older kit. I found so far that these stickers stay pretty well, even though some of them do fold over, but again, I haven't had this kit together for as long as some of the other ones, so we'll see in time if they stay that way. But you do get these black linings around the shoulders here, and there's actually 2 stickers on either shoulder, so what you have is like one goes up the back, and then the other one folds over the front and the top there. Then you have the same sort of thing on these front skirts here with those black lines, and then you also have these big, just kind of rectangular stickers over the front of either ankle guard. You do have a glossy foil-looking sticker on the kneecap here on either side. Then you have the same sort of foil stickers for the cameras on the heads, as well as the eye. And then you have some clear stickers. I only use so many of these, but there are some on the back of the parts for the hyper mode here. I don't know what you call these, wings rather. And then you have the King of Hearts logo on the front skirt there. There are a few other ones that come with this kit that you can opt to use if you want to. I used all the foil stickers, but the clear plastic ones, you do get some God Gundam logos in 2 different kinds there. You also get clear versions of those stickers on the knees if you want to use those instead. You do get big King of Hearts logos, Neo Japan logos, smaller King of Hearts logos, so there's some variety there if you want to use those instead. Now this is an older kit. This came out in the very early 2000s, 2001 actually, and because of that there are some screws that go into building this kit. For the most part they're just for the joints, and I find that when you put these in it does actually benefit the kit quite a bit. The shoulder joints tend to be really stiff, which is great if you're trying to get him to like cross his arms or something like that. And then there's also some in the legs and then where the feet connect. The feet you have to use the screws for. The rest of the kit you could probably do without using the screws if you wanted to, but I'd still recommend you use them just because it does make all the connections a lot more strong. With the feet though, it's basically, there's 2 pieces of plastic that will build around the ball joint and then you have to screw them together to get it to stick together. It's kind of a weird process and it's something they don't do anymore, but that's the only reason that I would say you have to use the ones on the feet. Now, in the event that you don't want to use the plastic or hard plastic double V-fin there, they do give you one of these soft rubbery plastic V-fins. It's a little bit lighter shade of yellow compared to the one that's on his head already. So if you're paranoid about that maybe breaking, if you're, afraid you're not going to be terribly careful with it or something, they do give you this in case you want to use it. I was originally planning to, but I decided to use this one instead because it just looked better, I thought, with the rest of the yellow. You do get a bunch of different hands with this kit as well, and these are the rubbery hands, so they're not going to be the hard plastic that you get with most kits nowadays. But you get one closed fist on either side, and the other one's on his body right now. You do get 2 open fists for his beam sabers, and the other one's on that side. And then you get 2 like martial arts posing hands, like this one with the fist up, and then this one with the arm scooping down. I found this one works really well. This one not so much, simply because you get the palm up and it's going to get in the way of the arm gauntlet there. You can pose it so that it doesn't, but it just looks really goofy to have his hand going one way and the gauntlet going the other way. You do get some hard plastic, clear orange Godfinger, Burning Finger hands, and you get one of those for either side, so you can pull off whatever kind of poses you want with those. And then you do get a rubbery plastic figure of Domon Kasshu, and there was one that came with the Shining Gundam that was him in his his suit that he wears inside the mobile suit itself, and this one is him in his street clothes. You do get a little like rock ground stand there for it, so he will stand up better, I assume, than the other one does. For a size comparison, I have here the Master Grade Force Impulse on the Master Grade Gundam version 2.0, and you can see that the 2.0 and the God Gundam are close in height, although the 2.0 has a little bit of an advantage there. The Force Impulse actually looks quite a bit taller than the God Gundam. He looks a lot taller on camera than he does in person, but in person he's like a head and a half taller than the God Gundam. The shoulder actually reaches about the height of the top of those cameras on his head. Also, you might notice that the God Gundam has more of a white plastic, whereas the Force Impulse has more of a gray, and this is sort of the same gray type color they use on the Shining Gundam. So if you get those two and put them next to each other, you'll notice that the God Gundam just looks brighter overall. And then just for one more arbitrary size comparison, here we have the Turn A, and even though his legs are spread a little bit, you can just see how much he towers over the God Gundam. I know somebody else usually does this, but I had this sitting on my desk and figured, why not? So that pretty much wraps up part 1 of this review. Check back for part 2, and I'll go over the posability, the weapons and accessories on this kit, and give my final thoughts on it. See you then.